Hello, this is Ricardo Noriega, and I'm going to show you a quick demo of the end-to-end workflow of a Microshift deployment, including the Advanced Cluster Manager registration. This is the ACM dashboard in the section of Automate Infrastructure Clusters, and the first thing we have to do is to click here and import the cluster. So we will put a name, Microshift Edge cluster 001, for example, save import and generate code. This is generating a set of commands that we have to apply in the spoke cluster or the cluster that is going to be managed. However, in our Microshift scenario, we don't have any SSH or keyboard and monitor to log into the cluster and perform and execute these commands. We have only one repo where we can place files and there will be automatically kubectl applied, let's say. So we copy the commands, we can go back to the cluster section and see pending import. We go here, let's say commands.txt. As you can see, this is a base64 version of the commands that we have to execute. So we are going to get rid of some of the things here and extract only the token that is needed for our use case. We stay here. Okay. Now, cat commands base64. We are gonna decode this chunk of this string. Base64 decode, and we create by kubeconfig. We only need the content of a secret, which is the kubeconfig. Okay. So we copy from here to here, and now we will edit our MAC address YAML file. So in this template section, we have two keys right now, cluster name and kubeconfig. In kubeconfig, we will place the content that we just extracted, and in cluster name we will put the same name as we have in ACM, Microshift Edge cluster 001, right? Microshift Edge cluster 001. Okay. I'm gonna upload this YAML file to the S3 bucket. So the device manager, the device actually, when it starts, it will contact the device manager, it will recognize the MAC address and read this file and perform a bunch of stuff. So if we go to our Microshift repo, we can see that in this path, var leave Microshift manifest, there's a bunch of manifest, basically the clusterlet, the objects that will enable the registration to ACM. And since these are common, we have to replace a couple of variables. First of all, the token, the kubeconfig file, and the other one in the clusterlet.yaml is the cluster name. Okay, so now it's time to deploy our device. So now we are gonna deploy our device. We are here in Virtual Machine Manager, import existing disk image. We have our image here, Fedora IoT O3S image, Fedora 33, 2 gigs of memory and 2 CPUs. to change the name, customize, because we have to put a specific MAC address. Okay, we go to NIC and we have to replace this MAC address by our test MAC address, which is here, right? Copy. We apply the change and begin installation. So this is our own version of Fedora 33 with an embedded URL that will point to our device manager, which is a service running in an OpenShift cluster that will provide configuration via another piece of software that we have written called transmission. So this is now starting, and the device manager plus transmission will start the configuration of the device, like starting, stopping, restarting services, downloading the O3S binary, starting it, disabling firewall D, for example, and a bunch of other stuff, including downloading this manifest from the Microshift repo, the clusterlet manifest that will get automatically applied. Let's go to the device and you can see how fast this is starting. SSH. We have now the SSH key, otherwise we would have to include our password. I'm gonna start as root and create an alias for O3S, Microshift, kubectl, so it's easier. kubectl. Okay. So we can see that pods are already starting. So the control plane, the O3S service is already running, it's starting, and the pods are already in container creating state. We can check the same using cryo. Sorry, it's starting. We are not there yet. But this is believe me, it's a quick process. So we are running. You see, it's a matter of seconds. I want to show you the path var lib microshift manifest, where we have the clusterlet manifest, the CRD, cluster role, service account, secrets, deployment, and the CR. So if we go to clusterlet.yaml, we can check that this name has been replaced as expected by the device manager class name, and the kubeconfig file is also there. So we are good. We keep tracking the pods. Oops. Let's see. We have now also the clusterlet containers in running state. DNS is still starting, and the routers. It takes a little bit, but it's a matter of seconds. This is still in pending import because probably the DNS resolution didn't succeed yet, but once the DNS pods are up and running, and hopefully it will succeed. Okay, running. Oops, ready state. That's awesome. So now our device, without SSH or monitor, keyboard, or anything, it's in ready state, and it's manageable by ACM. So now we can apply, deploy applications, policies, etc. Thank you.